Andrew here at Canadian Musician Magazine, and I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by hopefully a new friend. Shad just dropped a brand new record, Flying Colors. Thank you, Julie, for sending it to me because I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, when we get started, we're here at Halifax Pop Explosion, fresh off of your co-hosting of the Polaris Prize. And I've got to start with that. You and Kathleen, the chemistry there, phenomenal. I'm wondering how much time actually went into that?
Yeah. It was actually fun preparing for it, actually, because I'd never been a part of like a hosting, but I'd never been a part of like a broadcast, kind of like that. So it was kind of fun, you know, being a part of all that process. And yeah, I mean, I really liked what happened when the show happened, because she just turned it right on. And so like it got to be this nice little balance of like, I got to be myself, which is like maybe a little bit more chill, and she got to be herself, which is just fantastic and, you know, wild and good. Yeah.
What a great pairing too, like opposite ends of the spectrum musically, but it was phenomenal. The record, I hate rap, but I like you.
Yeah.
I love that you have that line in there, because I've encountered that attitude with people that I talk with about your music in the past. Maybe I'm grasping at straws here, but I've got to wonder, do you ever see that as an opportunity with people you're talking to maybe, I don't know what kind of conversations these pop up in, but to maybe help them kind of develop into some other hip-hop that maybe that attitude just comes from the stuff they hear as the mainstream.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, usually people that kind of have that perception actually just haven't listened to a lot of rap music.
Yeah.
You know, really is the case. So yeah, it definitely has been an opportunity to show people, hey, these are my influences. This is like what my music comes from, because I didn't create it in a vacuum. It's very much part of a tradition of, you know, hip hop. So that's been great. And yeah, I mean, I have no complaints about what I get to do, and certainly no complaints about my fans. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm so grateful for anyone who listens to my music, you know, open-mindedly. And but yeah, I when I stumbled on that little kind of turn of phrase, I was like, this will be a nice little, you know, way to address something. As you said, I mean, it's all over the place. Even now in 2013, there's a kind of perception of hip hop music that's beyond dated. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This being full length number 4, yeah, I'm wondering, because I can't really put my finger on it, and granted, I haven't had the record that long. I actually waited till I got it legally. But even just the single, styling it's got, I wish I could be more discreet, but there's definitely a different overall vibe to it. It's got the hook. Yeah, your flow, the beat's a bit darker. Yeah. Anyway, the record, at least as I've heard it so far, there's some different stuff on there for you. I'm wondering, looking back on your past material, which sonic elements do you think would be most surprising or new to fans that are familiar with your stuff, and maybe what informed, how did that kind of thing creep in there?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, because there's a lot of the character of the album and the music, and the, you know, certainly the character behind the music. It's like fairly similar, but definitely musically there's some like a little bits of experimentation, and some like that are like kind of way out there. So, you know, Fam Jam, you know, I've talked about my family's history in Africa before, but that's the first time I ever did it musically. I mean, we did African music kind of part of the track, so that was that's like a little bit of a departure. And then there's another song where I'm playing guitar and singing, you know, which is like, I've never really done that on a track. And then there's like a sort of electro, you know, coda to another song. So there's moments definitely of experimentation on this album, which is something that I wanted to do. Wanted to challenge myself, and yeah, and continue kind of to play to my strengths largely, but also, yeah, just challenge myself a little bit and try and do something new.
Yeah. Forgive how general this is, and Shad here has a panel to speak on in a minute. Yeah, I don't want to be so general, but Canadian hip-hop. I mean, we've got Drake that's doing his thing and on the world stage, but then when it comes to definitely different sonically, but you and Chaos, Kanon, these hip-hop artists that are getting a lot of attention, but that really are sort of left of center of what many would consider mainstream hip-hop. I'm just wondering, first off, do you think that's in any way related to being from Canada? And second, what are your thoughts on the way that hip-hop in Canada has been perceived of late and developing?
Yeah, it's... I I mean, I think it's definitely been a nice shock to the system of Canadian hip hop to have Drake succeed on such a scale that we had really thought was not possible. And I think that was a really great thing to happen. I noticed it positively impacting my career, even in Canada. You know, just like opening people's minds to the notion that like, if you like a Canadian hip hop artist, it's not like this separate group or class or tier. It's like, well, maybe I just like this guy generally, kind of thing. So, I mean, that's kind of one way. At the same time, I think it's also kind of highlighted the fact that our industry is a little behind. You know what I mean? Like, Drake is a superstar, and that's fantastic. At the same time, kind of highlights the fact that we've had talent like this, you know, before. I mean, certainly he's a unique kind of special talent, but he's not the only guy that we've had that's been worthy of sort of more attention and a bit more of a push. So I think that's like a good thing to kind of to note in all of that great success and all the positive things that's brought. It's also kind of, I think, shown a light on the fact that we don't push our artists here maybe as much as we could, because even Drake didn't break in our country first. You know, he knew he had to go there and break. So,
well, hopefully, and it's along the lines of what you say. But I mean, we've been speaking with Rich Kidd in the magazine in the last little bit, and I mean, some of those people that maybe have come into the spotlight a bit more because of Drake's success, and hopefully, it's got that trickle down to kind of get something growing here, like more of an incubation.
Yeah.
Environment.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great to see that happen. It'd be great to see the industry infrastructure take a chance on some Canadian hip hop talent and really try to push some of these, especially the younger guys like Rich Kidd and some of these guys that are making great music nationally. Let them have a chance to do their thing and talk to the whole country. You know?
Bang on. I appreciate the time. It sounds like it's wrapped up in here. Shad, the album is Flying Colors. It follows up TSOL, which won a Juno, shortlisted for Polaris. And if what I've heard so far is any indication, hopefully there's some equally, if not better, things in store. So cheers.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. Appreciate it.